So the Xbox event dropped today. A lot of people were really looking forward to it. So what I'm going to do here, you know what I do here. I like to talk about some of the things I'm excited for, the things I like. And there was a good amount from this. Can I just say, like, I go online, social media, everybody is like, this is an epic fail, or this Sony crushed Xbox, or Xbox destroyed Sony. What if both events were just fine? I think both Sony and PlayStation are doing different things in interesting ways. Their recent presentations, I'd probably give them both a B. Some a bit too much pre-rendered cutscene CGI stuff that just tells me nothing about the game. I don't want to see that. But I just see each event happen, and people fly off the handle. And I don't know. Aren't you tired? I feel like it doesn't really benefit anything. That's just me. Soapbox over. Okay, so some of the games I was really into. Halo Infinite was one that we knew about, but the lead up to the gameplay was something I was really excited about. Like yesterday, we got the box art. The box art, or the teaser image, whatever it is incredibly evocative of Combat Evolved. There's been talk of like a return to form, back to the series' roots. I was pretty caught up in that excitement, that nostalgia bait, I'm not gonna lie. And today we got actual gameplay, and I also got to see like a behind closed doors playthrough of that section with developer interviews, and I was able to ask them questions and stuff, so I have a little bit more insight. But genuinely, what I saw, I wasn't super into, but I'm still excited about the ideas of like what is going on here with this game. I'm excited to play a new Halo game, and honestly, a Halo game that completely looks and feels like a Halo game. I like pre-343 Halo games way more. I think most people do, especially 5 with the single-player campaign and how disappointed I was. Here they've stressed very much that they are focusing on a Master Chief story, an adventure. It takes place years after humanity has suffered another big loss or defeat. It's set to kind of pick up and become a new spiritual reboot. It continues the story, and they told me it answers all of the lingering questions from Halo 5, but becomes its own thing and is designed to kind of bring new players in, kind of like how many of us jumped in with the original Halo one back in the day, if you were 1,000 years old like me. And I think the grappling hook, and I think the open world structure, I think can actually be really interesting and make the game more exciting. And I think a return to Covenant enemies and brutes with this faction, I think can be fun to play again. I think there is stuff here, but I also was kind of hoping that they would go further. You know, the rumors earlier when we heard about like the open world and the grappling hook and stuff like that, I was like, hell yeah, just whatever, dude. Just make Halo Titanfall at this point. I don't even care. Let's shake it up. I really enjoy some of Halo, but I was ready for it to be completely shaken up. And then no, they've stuck to the core concepts here, but added an open world. The biggest disappointment, I think, is the graphics for a lot of people, and I'm of two minds. So like with the point I made in the beginning of this video, people are going nuts in multiple directions for the graphics, saying, look how bad the graphics are. I will say, watching it in 4K afterwards on a good monitor, you can see there is fidelity, there is detail, and it is interesting. I think the fact that like there's 1080p streams out there, shitty compressed YouTube videos, and the fact that the art style is going for more of a pared down look like the old games, not like 4 and 5 where it got highly super gritty and detailed, is kind of not really doing the game justice. Like people have held up the assault rifle for looking so just kind of plain and bare, but if you catch it in the right light during the gameplay demos, it actually is highly detailed. But I also could be completely wrong, because some of the official screenshots they put out look very not good. I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate because I just hope that it all turns out good. Still, I'm nitpicking things. It doesn't really matter. Like if it doesn't give off like this amazing first impression, that is still a little bit of a problem. I don't know. Like I'm of two minds with the whole Halo thing in general. Like gameplay, cool return to form, but also could have been fresher and more exciting. Graphics, I'm 50-50 on. So I don't know. I just was excited about the idea of Halo going into this. I'm still curious to see what they're going to roll out. If you guys are interested enough, I can do a whole video on it. Like I do have some information here about it. but nothing like blowing the doors down yet. I don't know. Let's mark that one cautiously optimistic. One thing that I thought was really cool is we finally got a look at what Obsidian is working on specifically for Microsoft. The reason they scooped them up, they were like, oh, that's awkward. We're actually working on the Outer Worlds over here. Now they're very much making their own RPG for Xbox, and it seems like Elder Scrolls. Now, I don't want. Let's be fair. It seems like, Obsidian has tackled Fallout and that vibe, and now they're going to do their own type of Elder Scrolls fantasy thing. Of course, Elder Scrolls doesn't own that type of fantasy like at all, but when you give us a pre-rendered trailer like this, it shows us absolutely nothing other than that the game's gonna have Doctor Strange magic. I need a little more than that, but I am excited for what that could bring, because Obsidian, of course, I think makes great kick-ass RPGs. I was hoping for them to bring back Alpha Protocol, kind of, in a weird way. Does anyone else feel? No? Hello? Still, Avowed, a new big fantasy RPG open world epic. I assume it's going to be, honestly, some of the visual vibes with the statues and stuff on the side. I got a Lord of the Rings vibe for like a minute, but I'm really, really reaching. I'm moving on though. Another thing I was actually really blown away by. This is a game that we have seen announced before, but we didn't get a real good look at the campaign, and that is CrossfireX. So Crossfire, that those of you that don't know, is a first-person shooter that hit it big in China. It is from Tencent, of course, China video games. What else would there be? So okay, whatever. I wasn't really excited about that. Oh, they're bringing it over. Maybe it has the potential here to be a big multiplayer shooter, but they hired Remedy to make the single player campaign. That's where I'm all in, and they showed it off, and I was like, holy shit, this looks way, way better than it has any right to be. This looks insane. This looks like Call of Duty on weird Crisis steroids, and I'm all about it. You see all these cool knife tricks, you see suits of high-tech armor, you see fun action, you see, it seems like indestructible environments, smooth gameplay, high frame rate, good graphics. That looks pretty awesome, and especially knowing that Remedy is behind at least some of that. If Microsoft just basically took Remedy and threw them a bunch of money and they were make a campaign for a bro shooter game from China, I don't know. I want to play that. And watching this, I really, really do. Wow. Also, another thing that really caught my eye, The Medium, a game that has been announced previously, but seeing it here and seeing what it really actually is, I am all in. So it's this survival horror game. It's got Silent Hill composers behind it. Honestly, it's got some Silent Hill vibes in certain ways, and how there are two worlds. There are dual worlds. But what's interesting with this game is that it can render both of them at the same time, and that ties into gameplay. And it looks crazy awesome and ambitious. Games have played around with this concept, but the way it's shown here, I think could be really, really exciting. There's also gameplay online floating around where you can actually see uninterrupted gameplay. It only really shows the characters solving a puzzle, which is weird, but it does look really interesting, and I like horror games, and I've been itching for a good one. I've told you guys Resident Evil 8 is one of my most anticipated games, but now The Medium is right up there in terms of most anticipated horror games. Also, Stalker, I did not expect to see that here. Stalker 2, a sequel to Stalker, had been announced and teased a long time ago, but it kind of died off. I didn't know what was going on there. I just thought it was going to either die or become just an indie PC game, so to speak, but here it is in full force, and I just love games like this. I love vibes like this. I loved Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. I love Metro Exodus. Can you tell the vibe I'm into? I think a lot of cool things can come from this. Not only that, but since this is a very PC ass game, I'm happy that some console players are going to be able to kind of experience something like this if they stick to the vibe and the gameplay concepts from the original. Also, the Gunk. At first, it seems quirky and cool, but because it's from the guys behind SteamWorld Dig, I'm all about it because I love the SteamWorld games. I find them highly addictive, the loop. So this is the first time they're really doing a full 3D thing, I guess. And if they can make another compelling and addictive gameplay loop, I'm all in. If it's just kind of an action adventure quirky game, I don't know, but if they can really give off that them thing, that magic, I'm in. Now, last but certainly not least, Fable. It's finally real. I'm so happy. All of the rumors that have suggested, it's apparently the worst kept secret, but it is by Playground Games. the folks behind the Forza Horizon spin-offs, which are great. It's an English studio, which I think it should be. And the voice actor in the trailer is very, very much the vibe of the Fable games, and I'm very happy about that. The Fable games have always hired some incredible English voice actors, and everything about the game just has a good thing about it. So just this trailer, as again, just a quick pre-rendered cinematic cutscene trailer. It's at the very least giving me the right vibes, giving me the right notes, from the voice actor to the look of it, to the thing, the cityscape you see in the background, which kind of looks like a Beauty and the Beast type fantasy type of thing. All about it. Really excited to see where this goes. I am very much someone who thinks that Fable is special. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I love the first one. The second one definitely capitalized a lot on the ideas of the first one and made it bigger and better. The first still being my favorite for nostalgia reasons. And then 3 was ambitious, but didn't really live up to it. And Peter Molyneux, behind those games, was someone who was notorious for over-promising and under-delivering. And now we maybe will have a game with new technology and new money that can realize some of those concepts. I don't care. It doesn't need to. I liked having Peter Molyneux lie to me because it was fun. I want him to come back and lie to me some more. That sounds really weird, but I know I'm not the only person that thinks that way. Shout out to Gene. But I think they can really do something special here. There are things popping up on like Resetera that this is going to be more of like an MMO or a games as a service type thing. I hope not. But we don't know. It's too early to tell. Well, is it early? They've been working on this game for a really long time. I would love to see more soon. Like, come on. I was so excited when they announced it, but I immediately yelled, "That's it! We gotta get more than this. The next generation's around the corner. Come on, start showing us stuff." Also, make YouTube and Twitch way more powerful and improve everybody's internet connection so we can get higher quality, better video that can really show off these things the way they're meant to be seen. Because that's, I think, part of the reason why some people are so kind of overwhelmed with certain things. Anyway, I digress. I could talk forever. Thank you guys for listening to me over here. I do want to hear what you guys are thinking. What are you excited about? If there is anything from this that you were into, I'd love to hear it, whether you're playing on Xbox or maybe you'll play these on PC, or maybe you're hoping someone will come over to the Sony side. Whatever, let's talk. If you appreciate what I'm doing here and trying to really talk about the things I like, clicking the like button does legit help me out, and subscribing and hitting that notification button is also good, because I only put out videos once a week here, so you don't want to miss them. But thank you guys for watching. I'm Jake Baldino. You can subscribe because video games, and pizza's on me. I'm going for it. That's what I'm saying now. I'm using both my catchphrases.